The home crowd was rocking. There's Kelly Sheffield. If there's anybody who can reset after a stunning loss like that, it's him. Back-to-back conference champions, back-to-back trips to the Final Four. And we're underway tonight here in the rack, and it's Becca Kojadinovic who gets us started.
Always fun when both teams are wearing similar numbers and similar colored jerseys.
Oh yeah, and there's an ace from Kojadinovic, Wisconsin. They're one of the best in the country. Well, Becca Kojadinovic is one that can do it.
And she's now 4 away from becoming the all-time leader in that category.
But Wisconsin rallies, and they answer with Dana Retke, 4-time first-team All-American.
It helps to have Sydney Hilly as your setter herself, an All-American.
Sydney Hilly back-to-back first-team All-American, and that time a favorable bounce allows Retke to put it away.
Most aggressively attacking hitting player in the country. And again, having Hilly as your setter allows that efficiency to be as good as it is.
How about that? 2 aces off the bat for Rutgers, and that time it's the sophomore from Istanbul, Turkey, Cansu Günaydın.
Obviously has struggled in terms of hitting efficiency, and it's going to give a chance for some other players to get some time.
As the Badgers, they go near side that time, and it's a kill for Julia Orzol, the freshman from Poland. About in just a second, but here's the rest of the starting lineups for Wisconsin: Retke, Orzol, Lauren Barnes, Sydney, Devin Robinson, and Jade Demps. Meanwhile, for the Scarlet Knights, Kojadinovic, Chitty, McNamara, Balika, Cheslik, Gurkovic, and Günaydın.
And Wisconsin overall is a very mixed team in terms of experience and youth. They have, I believe, 5 graduate students on the roster, so a ton of experience. And you mentioned the transfer from Iowa. They also have, as their another libero option, an Italian.
He's a familiar face that can get kills when needed.
Yeah, that's certainly a heartbreaking loss for Wisconsin to lose a player of her caliber and heart.
She did post on her Instagram that she is most likely going to come back for another year, so that is definitely enheartening for Wisconsin fans.
Now, they do have a lot of, obviously, other players to go to on the court. What's interesting about Robinson was
easy straight set win, but Adam Hughes and company have proved completely otherwise. They're now 13-0. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country.
And don't forget, last year in the shortened season, Rutgers beat Maryland not just once, but twice. If Maryland can block like that night in and night out, they're going to be able to beat anybody.
Yeah, that last kill came from Loberg. Here's Rutgers a chance with Kristina Gurkovic. And now Balika sets out wide for Kojadinovic, who tips over the top for a kill. And the Scarlet Knights edge back in front here, 7-6. Number 1 hitting team in the country at over 350. And last night, defense proved to be the difference. And there's an ace for Rutgers. She added the jump serve into her repertoire before last year. It has become a huge weapon. Meanwhile, there's Devin Robinson going back to work for the Badgers.
Dangerous for everybody else.
And somebody that's had to play a lot of roles for this Badgers team, especially with that injury to Danielle Hart. Here's Günaydın. Did she hit the corner? No, that's long.
Oh, that was a good timeout by Coach Sheffield to allow Wisconsin to draw closer here.
Good serve from Barnes, but then that time Orzol misses on the flush.
So you're going to take your bumps along the road at some point. To take it this early, you figure they would come out with more fire, and I haven't seen it yet.
Orzol had to readjust for that one. Günaydın with the dig. Balika goes to Kojadinovic. Hilly now sets for Orzol, who puts it away with the right. That time she sliced it back through the middle. She was named Big Ten Co-Freshman of the Week after she put up some pretty big numbers against Green Bay and Northern Illinois in their final non-conference tune-up. There's Kojadinovic with an answer. Time floats that one across. Here's Orzol again. Nice dig from Kojadinovic. Here's Cam Cheslik flying through the middle. It was dug out by Barnes. And that one misses.
Contribute as true freshmen in such a veteran lineup like this.
Retke flies through.
And at her height, she's able to, even mistake swings, find the court.
She surpassed 1,500 career kills last night. That time McNamara had it dug out. Cheslik laying out. But Rutgers not able to keep it alive. I believe Orzol is going to get another kill there, and it's a good start for the freshman. Orzol in the loss last night, first career double-double. She had a career-high 15 kills and also a career-high 11 digs. Günaydın has it blocked back. That time it's Retke and Hilly with the rejection. Hilly, very good blocking technique in her own regard, over 275 for her career. And then Kojadinovic misses wide.
But Wisconsin now hitting at above 500 pace.
Wisconsin in front by 2. Gnaiden down the line with emphasis from Jansu Gnaiden. When she had a career-high 14 kills, and she really was the spark plug in an 0-2 comeback earlier this year against UMBC. There's Retke with the answer.
When you could have Retke on that backslide coming out of the middle.
Coach Kelly Sheffield said she's hitting the ball harder than she ever has in her life, which is scary. And she's got another kill again.
And what's remarkable to me is that she didn't start playing the sport until the age of 15. So she doesn't have a lot of wear and tear overall in her body. And probably still learning the game, which is incredible to say for somebody who's a 4-time, probably soon to be a 5-time All-American.
Number 1 in the country in hitting percentage, over 550. And one of the best attackers in the country. That was a heck of a serve that time, but Rutgers turns defense into offense, and it's the redshirt senior, Shea McNamara. Such a great relationship with her. She transferred in last year from Auburn. She's made an immediate impact. That time, a quick answer from Grace Loberg. So I think that's a big point of emphasis. Meanwhile, the dreaded service error for Wisconsin gives it back to Rutgers. Kojadinovich for the dig. Here's Cheshlik. Block back. And it's Robinson and Hilly. She did all the work there. Belika, that time, a little miscommunication, but it works out perfectly. Gurkovic gets the net to help her out. She hit that and just kind of palmed it up over the net.
Rutgers, give them credit, they are not quitting.
Nice dig from Madison Chitty. Gnaiden. Now Hilly to Robinson. Look out.
Every single set, and are hanging with the Badgers here.
Here's Kojadinovich, goes for the tip. Wisconsin keeps it alive. Belika to Kojadinovich, who's got her 4th kill. That shattered expectations. But here in the second season now, she said, we don't want to fall in that sophomore slump. It's important to keep building.
Well, I think it's safe to say this might be the biggest home match in Rutgers history. Not only because of who they're playing, but they're playing them in the rack, and they're competitive enough to be in this match.
Yeah, look out there, Robinson, another crushing kill. In the rack, second conference match of the year. I'd say this is one of their most important matches ever. And there's a block from Retke and Orzel. Back-to-back conference championships, back-to-back Final Four appearances. They lost to Texas in the Final Four last year. But to have the second highest attendance in the country for the last several years now, they sell out that arena every single time. More than 7,000 people line up to watch this team play every time they take the floor.
Kentucky all the way down the line. And then when you look at the players' bios, like freshman Lauren Jardine, who's from Highland, Utah, when he's looking at her bio, why'd you choose Wisconsin? Quote, because it felt like the place I needed to be.
And they've got 7 set points here after a slow start. Belika back sets McNamara, the slide and the kill. Hilly goes for Orzel, who puts a bow on the first set with another kill. Yulia Orzel, 6 kills in the opening frame. That's something she's going to do very shortly.
I was calling the game in the College Avenue gym against Maryland when she had the 2,500th career assist, and the way she's playing, 3,500 is not too far down the road.
Here's Belika to McNamara, dealt with. This time they try to go away from Retke, and they go to Kojadinovich, who's got a kill. And now Belika's 1 assist away from 3,000.
That's just in year number 2, because the culture has changed here behind Caitlin Schweihofer in her second season, and then just beat the second-ranked team in the country yesterday.
Here's Gnaiden serve. Good one, and allows McNamara to punch it home. Sam Hilly pushes it near side. It's Loberg with a kill. You know, we mentioned the injury to Danielle Hart, and Wisconsin looking for some go-to hitters. She has become one of them again. But there's McNamara again, and with that assist from Belika, that is now 3,000 for her career.
In the side-out scoring era back in the dark ages when I played, that's so impressive for this young lady.
That one goes in. That's an ace.
And the officials work together to get that right.
Head referee's Charles Azigbo. He's the one that overruled, along with the assistant referee, Jeff McKinney. Koyedinovich drops it in.
Gets forgotten they had only been aced 20 times in 31 sets coming in.
There is Robinson in the middle, though, with a quick answer.
1.5 per set in Wisconsin, which lands an ace here, is a team that not only is so efficient attack-wise.
All the opportune times to get back in that match and grab decisive leads against Maryland were wasted with all those service errors. They've got 5 of them tonight. But they get back to work with the hitting. It's Jay Demps with another kill.
Having some aggressive floats, right, and you're trying to get the other team off balance, I can live with that. But if it's ones that are completely unforced, those are ones you can't allow if you're going to win any of these matches in the Big Ten.
Here's Ganaiden. Runs into that one. Beautiful dig from Chavita. And then Ganaiden comes up with the stuff to deny Robinson.
It's going to be so much more crystal clear, and at some point, I mean, you might even have it where you know immediately. You don't have to spend the full minute going through. And you get a set like that, she's going to put it away almost every time.
And near block that time. Koyedinovich hit the hardwood hard as she saved it. And then Retke puts it away.
It's a treat to watch her play.
Malika goes for Gurkovic. Saved with a diving dig from Cheshlik, and then Ganaiden with a rocket, and it was dug out. Time that was Izzy Ashburn who got to it. This time it drops in. It's Gurkovic going with the finesse.
You expect to get more out of her on a consistent basis, and she's actually hit negative 4 times this year, including each of her last 2 matches against Clemson and Penn State. So played Wisconsin tough, and we're winning for a good portion early on here in the second set. I think that hitting percentage is going to skyrocket a little more.
Crazy to think she might be over 600 by this in the season by the time this match ends.
As that is stuffed down by Retke and Orzel.
18 swings in that match. Ira, she might break that tonight.
We're going to try to see if we can find what that mark is, but she doesn't try to do too much. They want the big highlight reel type kill, right? They're trying to hit it straight down inside the 10-foot line. She just finds the open spot and is completely satisfied with scoring points wherever they come.
Malika for McNamara. Dig, tough one that time from Jocelyn Boyer. And Orzel almost came up short. Here's another go from the freshman. Nice dig from Koyedinovich. Cam Cheshlik, who's been a bit quiet tonight, comes up short. Retke standing at the net.
Well, Maximova, as that is going to fall in for another ace for the Badgers. Maximova, obviously, with the back-to-back negative hitting percentages after the first set yesterday, and maybe not starting today, will be enough to try to smooth out.
And another block. This time it's Retke and Loberg.
Very high volleyball IQ, great passer. Just got to find a way to be more efficient on attack. I was looking up her hitting numbers on the year, by the way. She's number 1 in the country at 569 and change. The next closest player was Heather Knightling from BYU at 500.
Second on the team in swings. Hilly goes for Retke again, and Rutgers finally stops her for the first time tonight. Orzel hammering that one through the middle. Jostle at the net. Still going. Chitty with the dig. Cheshlik blocked back off her body. Retke and Hilly. Wisconsin did not allow an opening that time at all. This time it's Koyedinovich coming through the middle, and Rutgers is trying to find some different ways to get some points, but they're just not having any success right now. 1-31 before the year she got there, and just 3 years later she had him in the Atlantic 10 semis, was the Atlantic 10 Coach of the Year. And then in the 1 year she spent at Northeastern, they went to the quarterfinals in the CAA.
To see the opponent.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. Sure, fans do want to see what Wisconsin has to offer, but they're coming out to see Rutgers women's volleyball and see what they have developed into. And Rutgers, this is something for them to look to that, hey, I can do that, and do it maybe at this level.
They're not coming to see the top teams in the country. Belico wins a battle at the net.
Where you have, 2 first-team All-Big Ten setters between Belico and Hilly. It's a treat to watch them play.
That one falls wide for a Wisconsin
but they're both
kill.
very different type players.
There's Barnes. Like a bump set. Chesley coming through the back row again. Barnes with the dig. Hilly for Retke. Unstoppable. It is just an otherworldly amount of power.
Equally as good almost. She had no errors in that match. 11 kills, no errors, 15 attempts at 733. Well, she's above that pace tonight.
She's hitting 917. I think that's
I think that's the area code for Queens.
Jay Demps, as Wisconsin runs away with this second 0 advantage, and they will try to get this done in straight sets. When we come back, does Rutgers have an answer? We'll find out next here.
For a McNamara to not, you play 1 point and forget it and move on to the next point. It's so important to play 1 point at a time.
There's Retke, just unstoppable power yet again. And just go ahead and flush it down. Kojadinovic has it dug out by Chavita. They go back to Retke, tried to palm it over, and McNamara hammers that one home with emphasis. Enough of this. I'm going to go somewhere where I'm played and I'm wanted. And she came all the way to Jersey, and they love her here.
And sometimes you need a little adversity in life to try to get the results you want. She's come here and found a home. They welcomed her with open arms. And
just past 8 o'clock here on the East Coast. If you're a little bit late in joining us, Ira Thor, Pat Boyle, the rest of our crew. Number 2 Badgers looking to rebound from the stunning loss last night in Maryland.
I think that was more of a statement win for Maryland about them arriving, not about Wisconsin, not being as good as advertised.
There's another block. Retke and Hitley with another rejection. Turning around that program after Steve Aird came there to try to do that before and then went to Indiana. Terrapins have been waiting for a permanent head coach to take their program to the next step.
And to be honest, I don't think it would even be fair for them to fall as far as 7-10. And you're probably right, but they're a much better team than that.
They played a tough non-conference schedule as well. There's Retke. There's the first error of the match for her. Yeah, that takes that hitting percentage down to a more normal 765.
More normal.
Here she is again, right back to work. Another kill.
More normal. She decides she no longer wants to be a mere mortal.
Unchained this year at times. You might see 40, 50 swings every match.
It'll be interesting if Robinson gets more involved for Wisconsin. She's 7 for 7 on attack.
There's Robinson right on cue. You called it, Ira, and she is still perfect. 8 for 8. All the All-Americans, all the professional volleyball players, all the now coaches and assistant coaches in the country. As Robinson collects another kill. And then Kelly Sheffield came over, and he just completely rebuilt this program back to a national contender year in and year out.
Yeah, the fact that Wisconsin's never won a national championship to me is that's a double block for the Rutgers squad to stay closer to win a national title. The goal is obvious. What they want, I don't think many of them will be completely satisfied with their careers if they're not able to come out with a natty.
Kojadinovic, blocked back by Robinson. She got fingertips on it.
Penn State that was dominating not only the Big Ten but across the country at that time. Penn State won consecutive titles, 8 in a row, I believe it was, from 2003 to 2010. And Wisconsin has been the team that's owned the last decade and change now.
And Kojadinovic back into the kill column.
Off the court, so it was a good job by Rutgers to get the set there, just allow her to tool the block.
And there's a dump set kill from Hilly. When you expect it least, she strikes.
I'm not a big believer in moral victories, but Rutgers is able to pull out a set here today.
And I know that Caitlin Schweihofer and a lot of coaches will never, admit moral victories are good, but you were able to win a set off of some of the top teams in this conference. That is certainly a long, big step to building a program. As Orzal back into the fray.
If the majority of them have been aggressive, they're going for that back line. They're trying to force Rutgers back on their heels.
That time it falls apart. Another point for the Badgers.
Well, the fact that she's coming from off the court and the angle that she's coming at makes it very difficult to read. Next gen stats. We'd love to see what it was like back, when some of the big names in the history of the sport were playing in the 80s and 90s when we didn't have this kind of technology.
How about that block from Cheshlik and Gurkovic? And don't look now, Rutgers back within 2 here.
That was all
And they block her back.
Cheslik,
And they block her back again. This
Wow.
time it is Cheslik and Gurkovic.
Gotta feel good.
See if they go back to Rettke. No, they go near side Loberg for a kill. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point we're just looking for any kind of flaws.
We say tongue-in-cheek. I mean, she's still by far the best player on the court.
Loberg, that time a deflection sends it to Chitty. Here's Cheslik, blocked back, kept alive. Kojadinovic, nice sliding dig from Orzal. Robinson just flicking that one into the corner. There's Ashburn, who drops in an ace, the 6th of the match for Wisconsin.
She's going to be the one in the next 3 years that is going to be carrying this program. Her father played basketball at Arkansas Little Rock and is an assistant coach at Iowa State right now. You know, seeing players who are not coming to the United States to necessarily play collegiate volleyball, and often very different styles of volleyball, that's only going to make you better.
Already surpassed a 3,000 career assist mark in this match. Chitty calls it off, goes to Kojadinovic with the tip. Loberg pops it up, has to push it. Back bump set for Cheslik, goes for the corner. Chavita's there. Loberg. Maximova punched it. Here's Kojadinovic. What a rally this is, and it ends in another point for the Scarlet Knights.
You like how a Rutgers squad is continuing to forget what happened in the previous point. You know, we talked about how the sport can be so mental. Well, they're about to tie it.
And almost due there. Nice touch from Robinson. Chavita keeps it in. Chitty lays out. Tough set there for Cheslik. And another point for Rutgers. They're grinding points out here. In assists all time. She's tied for 10 on the career aces list. And she's also tied for 10th in blocks. She does it all. Here's Temps.
Yeah, she's definitely the best player on the court right now for Rutgers, just in terms of MVP caliber status.
Another battle at the net, and it's Gurkovic who comes away with it again. They did that last year against Wisconsin. They were competitive. They got to 20 in the second set. A night later, they got to 21 in the third. That's a big block, though, from Robinson and Loberg.
Getting most of the time defensively at libero, but Barnes was an All-American a year ago at libero.
And there's Kojadinovic, who goes through the alley far side for the kill. And we haven't talked about it that much tonight. I mean, it just goes to show you how many weapons Wisconsin has. They go to Robinson again. 10 kills on 11 swings.
And also All-Conference in 2019. She's here to win a national title, which is her dream.
There's Maximova with a kill.
Certainly helped her confidence coming into this season with such a short turnaround between the spring season and the fall now.
Time Kojadinovic was ready for it from Rettke. Maximova with another kill. 20 all.
Good job there by Beliko to stay off the net. Played well here in her 2 sets. 3 kills in 6 swings, hitting .333.
Timeout, Wisconsin. And again, this place is going to get really loud here over these next few points.
And we talked about how the growth of the sport here in New Jersey will be accelerated by Rutgers as a program developing. And you're going to see these seats in years to come fill up more and more.
Orzal misses. Rutgers has a lead now, 21-20. They believed in this program. They believed this was the necessary move. It's something the wrestling team was able to accomplish. We see where they're at now for Rutgers. Volleyball hopes to be there next. Yulia Orzal ties it up at 21. Here's Jocelyn Boyer.
Beautiful float coming off her arms.
Maximova had to try to push it. It was on top of the net. Now it's Orzal again. And it just falls in, snuck behind McNamara and Beliko.
Was there, and unfortunate for Rutgers, a little bit crossed up, cost them.
Kojadinovic had a layout. Here's Maximova. Block back, Rettke and Hilly again. It's the 12th block of the match for Wisconsin, and they're within 2.
Keep this alive.
Warriors serves again. It's a tough serve receive. Beliko went up against 2 sets of hands and kept it alive.
They were lucky to have that joust opportunity. Could have been a free ball kill.
Warrior not the best at digs. Hilly then sends it over herself. Now Maximova. Chavita for Orzal. Nearly blocked back. Kept alive. Orzal again. That time she put 100 miles an hour into that one.
had to put something into that because Rutgers defensively was getting everything. And
she just loaded up for that one. 3 match points for the number 2 team, and they end it with an ace. 8th ace of the match. It's from Jocelyn Boyer, and Wisconsin survives a scare at the end of the 3rd set, and they get it done.